Tim Thomas here. Hey, I've got a problem and I need your help, Tampa Bay. I've got some home buyers who need a house. Actually, I've got about 216 buyers who need a house. Here's the story. I'm a real estate investor and I advertise locally to find people who want to rent to own or lease option my houses. Well, my marketing is working amazingly and I found a lot more buyers than I have houses to sell. So I need to help these folks find a home and make a little money for the work I've done to find them and qualify them. My list of buyers are looking to buy a house, but they just can't qualify for a bank loan because of a few credit issues in the past. These people are good, honest, hard-working people with jobs and careers and families that are just stuck in apartment life right now and are desperate to break free and get the house of their dreams. Like I said before, their credit score is the only thing holding them back. My buyers want to live in the area but don't qualify for a mortgage right now. That means they will be buying from you rent to own. They can afford the monthly payment and will qualify for a loan within 2 or 3 years. We have every one of them talk to a mortgage broker before we put them on the list. I want to know exactly how long it would take them before they did qualify and could take out a new loan and pay off the house. These buyers will also give you full market value for your house and full market rent during the lease period, sometimes a little bit more than that. Here's the situation where we can help each other out. You are trying to sell your property either for sale by owner or a realtor, or you have fallen behind on payments and pre-foreclosure is knocking on your door. First of all, I do not offer lowball offers like those other guys. Those other guys see that you are in trouble and they try to offer you some crazy low offer that will take all your equity and leave you with just a few bucks left over at closing. Not my program. Like I said before, you get full market value. Here's how my program works. In order to get your house sold quickly to one of my buyers, we can do a lease option, meaning my buyer can agree to a 3-year lease with an option to buy. I know. You don't want to become a landlord and have to fix toilets in the middle of the night. Listen, this is not renting to tenants. This is a lease with an option to buy. These people are home buyers. They are renting with the intent of buying your property. These people will take care of your property as if it is their home. They will handle all the repairs and maintenance while you just sit back and collect monthly payments. You will have a written agreement with them that makes them responsible for repairs to the house. It's kind of like you're acting like the bank. The bank collects mortgage payments while the homeowner deals with the property upkeep. Now, during these 2 or 3 years of collecting payments, the credit is improving. They should be able to qualify for a loan to actually purchase the house after the lease is up. This is when you cash out. Oh, and if they decide to not buy or they can't qualify for the loan, we can help you find another buyer to place in the home and do it all over again. Just keep on collecting monthly payments. Worst case scenario, if they default on the payments, they will lose their option and you can evict them. The beauty of this is that the percentage of evictions on this type of sale is way below normal tenant eviction rates, so it's a lot safer. Questions. How much is this service going to cost you? Well, first let's look at how much it costs to use a real estate agent. For example, on a $150,000 house, you have an appraisal fee, escrow fee, points or origination fee, credit report fee, documentation preparation fee, survey fee, pest and mold inspection fee, home inspection fee, recording fee, and of course, a 7% realtor fee. All of these fees come to around 10% of the loan. That's approximately $15,000 on a $150,000 mortgage. And that $15,000 will be sucked up from your equity at closing. This is why a lot of people try to do it themselves and use for sale by owner, only to realize that a property is hard to sell on your own, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Now, with my program, you get to keep the $15,000 in your pocket. My lease option process does not cost you a dime. I am paid by the buyer. The buyer pays my fee up front, and you get the first month payment on day one. I'm not a real estate agent. I do not represent you or the buyer. I am simply a facilitator of this transaction, and the buyer pays me somewhat of a finder's fee for helping them find a home. As far as the price goes, it really doesn't matter to me how much you want for it. But if we put it to much over market value, I will not be able to find a buyer. But there's no reason we shouldn't be able to get you full market value, or maybe a little more because the way we're selling it. My buyers are pretty motivated. So, if you have a house in the Tampa Bay area, that includes Tampa, Brandon, Riverview, and all surrounding areas, and you are ready to do a lease option deal with me, then visit my website and fill out the memo agreement on the front page. This agreement gives me authority to shop your property to my buyers. I'll send out an email to my list about your house. I have sold houses in one day with this list, so don't be surprised if things happen pretty fast after you give me the okay. I will also post a sign in your yard and around the neighborhood alerting local buyers to your property. The property needs to be vacated when the buyers come to look at the house. Sometimes I use a lockbox on the property for access. Once a buyer has made a decision to buy with my lease option, then they sign their agreement with your terms on it. All this is done at the kitchen table, just like a for sale by owner deal. Then they wire me my fee, and they wire you your first month payment. Then they get the keys, and everybody is happy. Question: some sellers like yourself ask me all the time if we need to go to a title company or a real estate lawyer to close. Listen, this is not a typical mortgage loan deal. This is a lease option between the seller and the buyer. The buyer is basically paying you rent. You don't go to a title company to rent your house. After the lease option is up, this is when you go to closing with the title company because the buyer is now getting a loan to buy the property. But until then, this process is done at the kitchen table. So head over to my website and fill out the agreement so we can get the process started. It shouldn't take no more than a few days to close. Talk to you soon.